Hi everyone, Dan here. Having heard Imam Adam Kelwick share the moving story of how his mosque community had responded to the violent protests in Liverpool last summer, we wanted to ask Adam his practical tips and suggestions for how to approach difficult conversations and difficult situations like that one.
So advice, what I would give to people who might find themselves in a position where they feel they have to have difficult conversations is avoid debates for the sake of debates. Because a debate is not about the truth, it's about one person winning another. That's what it is at its essence. And quite often, the winning is down to the skill of the debater, not necessarily the subject which you're debating. Have discussions. So discussion is not about winning. It's not about me being better than you. Discussion is, like I've been saying, people coming together, talking, but more importantly, listening. However, a person does have to have self-restraint. If you're easily offended, I wouldn't advise you put yourself in that position, because many people, they thrive, they understand the power of words, and they thrive on saying the things which they know will hurt you the most and trigger you the most to get an emotional response from you. So you need to have tough skin. And one quality and one characteristic which inspires me is this characteristic of clemency. And this is, the more abuse that somebody throws at you, the more you can convert that into kindness and responding with which is better, which is something which I still haven't perfected. There's a long way to go. It's very difficult on the ego. You know, your ego does not like to be criticized. You don't like to be criticized. You don't like your religion to be criticized. You don't like your God to be criticized. You don't like your people. You don't like criticism. But as I've been saying, sometimes it's not about the criticism itself. There's usually something beyond that, and that is a desire to be heard, or to be respected, or to be loved. And the ideal situation is a situation where, when you interact with somebody who you disagree with, understand that you're never going to agree with everybody anyway, and respect that. You can still agree on something, and that is, you're a human, I'm a human, we care for our loved ones, and we want the best for society. That's the hope anyway, that people do want the best for society. And then just agree to disagree. If somebody finds themselves in a situation which is very, very intense, shouting, aggression, it's probably best to either make that situation more calm, if possible, or if not, withdraw yourself from that situation, because you're never going. It's like I do humanitarian work, and when there's an active conflict zone, you can't do anything. You cannot take humanitarian aid into an active conflict zone. You have to wait for people either to withdraw from it to a safe area, and then you can provide for them, or wait for the conflict to stop, and then you can go in and have an impact. Likewise, when somebody's in conflict mode, aggression, violence, shouting, there's very little you can do. So either calm things down or walk away and return when the time is right. And sometimes you can really surprise somebody when you deal with them, but they know they're abusing you. And imagine if you're abusing somebody and the response to your abuse is actually kindness and what hopefully is interpreted to be a genuine connection, then I think that's really, really powerful. And I think that was the summary of the protest outside our mosque. You know, even as I was walking over, when I was finally given permission by the police, there were a couple of cameramen who were there, and I said, please don't come with me. Just let me go, because I didn't want it to be seen as this is for the media, this is a PR stunt. I wanted it to be genuine. And even though one photographer did come over and get that viral image, I think it's important that sometimes, you know, all these narratives, all these political arguments, all this hatred, all this ignorance, just throw it to one side and connect with somebody at a soul level, And I've been trying to educate my community as well, because we fall into the same trap. We see them as all being this uniform bunch of horrible, nasty people. And it's not like that. And we proved it. There are nice people. There are genuine people amongst their ranks. In fact, if you were to kind of audit their intentions, you might find that even though it's based on ignorance and misinformation, disinformation, lies, and all the rest of it, you'll find, if you audit their intentions, that they actually left their houses on that day, on a hot summer's day, when they could have been anywhere else, to come to protest at the mosque, because what they thought they were doing was right. And it was a good thing to do for themselves and for society. And so what I like to do is I like to tap into that goodness, what's there, and just help direct it. And this is the point, you don't claim that you're better than anybody else. Everybody has this goodness inside them. And one thing I've been taught is it's like a cup of tea. Everybody has this sweetness in their hearts, just as the cup of tea has sugar in it. But for some people, it's settled at the bottom, and it just needs a bit of a stir to make them sweet again.